Hi folks, I've just done a little bit of a garden update. It's raining again, so I'm down here. Yeah, nematodes. I've got a massive slug problem here, and I'm just looking at a website as it goes for slug nematodes. I'd heard about them, but I'd never seen them to buy. So I'll put a link for that on the bottom. It's a UK site, but I'm sure you can get them in the States and everything. And it's a natural sort of thing, so I'm going to try and have a look at that and maybe order some. But yeah, I've got a couple of problems what you could help me with, maybe. Well, a tree I've got in garden, what I'm trying to identify. There's a right end, at the back end there's a little bit of video on that, and a couple of pictures at leaves and stem and stuff, so if anybody's got any ideas on that. And as this is, well, longer than normal, I try to keep them down below 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Plus, like, I know you're busy, and I like it if you have a look through, you know. So, how do you do, so you can put segments in the description where you could literally click to where you want to find, or I can put a description, you can click at what you want to look at in this video, rather than like having to sit through it all and just listening to me going blah 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 blah. So, yeah. So if you could help me with that, but there's a few clips around garden and a bit of harvest, some stuff that we've picked, and yes, mostly garden. Well, my asparagus and strawberries are working well together, although asparagus is getting a bit flattened. We keep getting really bad weather, it's storming and heavy rain, but he's picked up, there's quite a few strawberries on him. I probably should have not let it strawberry, because these on the packet said they're supposed to be giants, but they're just like the little alpine strawberries what I've had before. But the asparagus is doing quite well, as you can see. It's all putting out loads and loads of spikes, so hopefully next year or year after we'll be enjoying quite a lot, because I'm impressed with how well that's come on. Obviously not to be outdone by old garden guy Rob. Is this a rosewater moment? Might be for these two. We've got mutant patty pat squash. I think I'll be gathering some bits and we'll be having some soup. Oh, look, my friends, I've got to find a way to destroy these boys. I had a bit of a disaster with my cucumbers. Well, not a disaster as such, but the strings broke on one side because of the weight of the cucumbers, which is not a bad thing. There's one, but it killed part of vine on this side, but these guys on this side are doing well. These are alright. Well, I managed to pick a few. And a few other bits. There's going to be some soup. These are little round carrots. My pathetic garlic that hasn't split into bulbs, it's just come into one big bulb. Now it's getting a bit of rust on it. The onions, what I've just found, dug out what the slugs had tops off. That's about as big as they got, and then slugs just eating all tops off them. Been like catastrophic with slugs this year. And a pepper that I've just knocked off. So it's green, but it's hot or warm. So that's going to be the soup. And if there's enough, we'll freeze some. My corn's come on alright. I'm just really waiting. Oh, there's a stink bug. Go away. I'm just waiting on it to ripen up now. I think if we'd have had more hot weather, it would have been, well, the first lot would have been ready, because that's the second lot, and this is the third lot in front, but I didn't get a lot of germination, or, like I said before, the slugs got me. But there's another eggplant that's just starting to flower. These are bush beans, top of teepee. These are just started, but I've had diabolical luck. I don't know what to say, whether it's slugs have got everything that I've planted first or what this year, but I've got some peppers. There's a California wonder on that tiny little plant. That's quite good. But again, slugs have had loads of them. Now I've left them, they just sort of slugs eat that and probably leave plant alone, I hope. There's another one on here, small one. There's a couple more in flowers, so hopefully if weather does pick up. It's just so humid, it rains one day and slightly sunny and overcast the next. Like now I'm sweating like crazy, but the sun's not out. Now these peppers what I bought have been a right disappointment, I've got to say. Fire Kissers, extra sharp, extra hot. They're not hot at all. I've eaten 2 of them, there's absolutely no flavour at all, not a little bit of flavour. These guys green are hotter than them. They're pathetic. They look nice, but I've even looked at the website and it says they're hot. Use 2 for hot sauce for tortillas. Rubbish. It's a lie. Don't buy them. They're the other ones which are supposed to be mild, and there's, yeah, like I say, no taste. Absolute no taste. Just for show, for nothing else. That might be interesting. That's a Mexican melon, mouse melon. Bob planted some. He's got a big bush. Now I had 3 seeds left, so I chucked them in, and 1 came. So that might be actually be a contender for grow room. My goji berries are coming on alright. They're potted up. Got them from the same company as this, so I'm hoping they are goji, because I remember somebody saying my goji berries don't look like your goji berries. So I'm going to do a bit of research on that. That pathetic thing there is one of the lychees. It only had 2 leaves on like that when I brought it out, but it started to put new leaves on now, so it might survive. And I've got some more starts here for later on. And here I've got some lettuce and spinach. And here I started last week. There's some red chicory on the right. In the middle, that's they're like little turnips. Excuse my fingers. They're like little turnips. And here on the left, savoys. So might be a bit late with them, but if I am, I'll cover them. Keep them up. Well, I can cover them. That's that. These little carrots here are from a pot of carrots. What I did. It was quite a big pot. It was this pot. What's got in it now is ginger, and that's my lemongrass behind. It's doing quite well. Got a couple of pots of lemongrass now, which again I'll be going in winter into grow room. But I put a nice sandy mix in with some food. Not a lot really. It'll be alright fried off. It still tastes like carrots. But I'll try a bigger tub next year, I think. Just because my grounds are really not suitable. Unless I can get some nice beds made for specifically for carrots, but you've got no rotation then. I've just planted out some more salad and endives. I'm going for numbers this time. I'll try and beat the slugs. I have put those pellets down, but it's just starting to rain now, so probably by this evening they'll be just ineffective. But I've planted quite a lot. I went to visit my father-in-law on Friday, which was Swiss Day. Get a chance to set some rockets off, and he gave me some starts. He starts a couple of pilot, well, he just like does a full packet and then just digs them up and plants them as he wants them to grow, basically. But salad and endives. Sort of found us some wood chips as well. Forester free. Some of them these are not particularly small, but there's a lot of broken down material in it, and what happens is when rain washes it down, it washes small, finer stuff down and leaves bigger stuff on top. But I need to fetch some more. I've done a couple of beds. This one, corn bed, and some other bits, and I found they've just worked so much better. That original bed I did with kale in it has gone fantastic, and that was some wood chips of my own, but they've just about gone now, and they were a good 4 inches on top of that. That's just not just about soil, but it's good soil now, really nice. So I'll be covering all my bare soil and growing a lot better food. Anybody got any ideas on what this tree is? Nah, I'm thinking it's some sort of fruit tree, but I've looked at my apple and my pear. It's got like white, almost velvety bags, and you look at that reddish stem, and there's like a little leaf coming off at the base of each leaf. Now this popped up last year, and I cut it off below ground, and it's come back again. I can keep cutting it down. I could dig it out and move it if I can find out what it is, if it's useful. and if it is useful, I'd rather save it than just chop it down. It can't stay there because it's Scratcher's car basically, or it will do if it gets any bigger. That's that rootstock what I've got. I might end up, if I found it, I've got a friend with some apricots. I found out they had an apricot tree after them bringing us some apricots. Didn't know. And this winter I'll get some Sion wood off that, and I'll graft it onto this. Cut it all well back and graft it onto it. I'm going to try these fruit, see what they like, and I'm also going to take them up the graft off my plum and graft some of my plum onto it as well. So if it's like a double tree, hopefully I can get apricots and plums off it. Be interesting and space saving.